Greetings and welcome to Die Dragon Die Presents Enter the Dungeon, episode 33. I'm your DM and host Marty, joined by Adam and Ahmed. How is everyone doing on this fine Friday evening?
What's up, San Francisco?
Your mics are now hot.
Hot mic.
Hot mic.
Well,
like tamales. Hot tamales.
I finished chasing the dog around the house that was covered with mud, and then finally got it into the... we tricked it out from under the bed, because it decided that it didn't want a bath, so it was going to just hide under the bed covered in mud. And we're not going to talk about how the dog got covered in mud. I wasn't in the house when that happened. I just came home with, there's mud everywhere, and there's a problem after things. We're going to just ignore that part.
We're killing the dog.
After it looked like those words might have been uttered at one point, not by me. But
He's running around with a knife, like it's a knife.
After I tricked the dog out of from under the bed and threw it in the tub and got that rinsed the mud off of it, it looked like I slaughtered an earth elemental with my bare hands in the bathroom.
This is the not German Shepherd, right? Like
no, the German Shepherd is like, well, one of the nice aspects of a German Shepherd is when the German Shepherd gets muddy, you go over there, wait for 20 minutes, the dog shakes, all the mud falls off. Hey!
Problem solved.
Problem solved. It's almost like the coat was designed to do this, so they wouldn't need human maintenance in the wild.
Yeah,
whereas Bernie Doodle is a
completely different animal.
A human creation.
Exactly, a human creation. Dragster, what's going on? Thanks for the sub, man. 24 months, it's crazy.
Yeah, the Bernie Doodle is basically, you know those hedges where people sculpt them into things? The Bernie Doodle is basically that, where you just grow the hair out and it's poofy enough that you can sculpt it into whatever kind of dog you want for a good hour.
Nice. Oh, apparently subs you give away random emotes? Neat. Okay, cool.
Hey, Adam. Oh, it's only an axe. God damn it. Fuck. Never mind.
Alright, so Muddy Bernie Doodle, what's going on? Muddy children? Ahmed?
Yeah.
Were they hiding under the bed too? Like, I'm not coming out?
This is so I was like, oh, you know what? Kids haven't done anything in like 2 days. I'm going to take them to this place that, you know, they can run around and do all the things. Like, you know what? Let me call their friends. See how many kids show up. 6 friends later, parents don't stick around. Here's Ahmed running after 8 kids. So I need to kill shit, is what I'm saying.
That explains why we were doing some of the treasure and like building, and Ahmed's like listening was just basically turned off. That explains why. You've already expended your energy for the day.
That's my good deed for the year.
Happy holidays, everyone. What have I been up to? So I'm at the tail end of the death cold that I had when we played last. This is not something I would have wished.
It's been almost a week, man.
I know. It's like I feel better. It's just I sound like shit still. And then a maintenance guy came by my apartment today, and he's all hacking and coughing. I'm like, please let it be the same cold. I don't want another one. He's touching everything. I'm like, no. Why are
Fortress of Solitude.
Exactly.
Fortress of Solitude.
Exactly. I saw She Wants Revenge last night. I like a band that I like, so that was pretty good. That was the first time out of my house since, I guess, last game. I did groceries, I think, the day before Christmas, but I was a zombie. Yep. The cold, like hallucinating, like you go for a nap and you're like having hallucinatory dreams, like it's
Those are good. That's how you know the cold is very effective.
Yep.
Anybody do any sort of like Boxing Day kind of, like in Canada? Boxing Day is actually the sale day.
Americans don't know what the fuck Boxing Day is.
Well, for us,
really?
Black Friday happens after Christmas.
Yeah. So what did you buy?
We bought a mirror, a big full-length glass mirror to practice posing in front of, because that's now part of what Jessica is into. So.
How about
Okay.
an airsoft gun?
I didn't
Airsoft.
I didn't really buy anything. I bought some stuff around Black Friday though. Like like better speakers for the TV and
Laptop.
you got a laptop.
Yeah, I bought the PC that I'm playing on right now. So
1,000 gold piece mirror for
1,000 gold piece.
scrying and
He
trapping
can
souls.
Crying.
you probably could use it for scrying
and trapping souls.
Well, so the mirror that we had previously was a cheaper mirror, and it warped a little bit. So when Jessica was like practicing, she's like, "This is my pose," and then we went to the gym where the mirror is straight, and then she was upset with her pose because the mirror was bent, so it was like a circus mirror that she was looking at. So she was highly disappointed. She thought the cameras were lying.
Yeah, cool.
The epitome of the concept of a first world problem.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to do a quick recap of what happened last game. Out of time. Darian, Bonecrusher, Ashoka, and Kreiger do battle with a small swarm of shadows in a forgotten area of the temple. They find Bonecrusher's skull.
Ashoka showed up?
Oh, Ashoka? What the fuck? Bonecrusher, Darian, and Alkur.
Oh god.
Jesus
Oh, this is going to go poorly.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Wait, what? They find Bonecrusher's skull in a grim banquet hall. The party sneaks out of the temple and flees into the wilderness along with Ali, Iggy, and Mudrazar. Ptolemy learns teleport and brings the party with clever use of a portable hold to the vicinity of Nulb. The party meets Otis, who remembers past iterations and is very old. He has a beef with Shadow, but lets the other members inside the workshop outside of time. Taking advantage of the properties of the workshop, the party rests. Kreiger gets his new hammer. Otis has a conversation with Oscar about Zuktmoy, her prison, and Ptolemy. Ali spends some time training and brewing potions. Alkur sets to planning major upgrades to the party's equipment and learns the teleport spell. The party then teleports to the Moathouse, where they confront the Pumpkinseed menace that has taken root there. And I believe we ended last game in the middle of, kind of at the end of the fight. I think Kreiger and others are pretty hurt, as the pumpkin patch horrors were pretty nasty. I'm going to say, I'm not going to go round by round getting rid of the effects that are on Kreiger and Oscar. I'm going to say that you take one more round of damage from those effects, and then they go away. The Pumpkinseed menace seems to have created this huge pile of biomass where it looks like several other large pumpkin patch horrors are being grown. This, with effective use of some oil and torches, is put to the torch, and you guys are there's a brief moment when you're all standing around gazing at the burning blackened fire that you guys are now adding to by dragging corpses over into it. Even the guys who died against the Pumpkinseed menace look like their skin is already beginning to corrupt, and you quickly determine that the best way of handling this is to add them to the pyre.
On the fire.
Yep.
It's unfortunate.
You know you're bleeding all over the damn place.
Wait, who? Which one? Who's bleeding? Is it Crusher?
Yeah, Kreiger takes we'll say 7.
I took average for
Okay,
all the...
great.
And it's been done.
Ptolemy's tentacles return to hands as you guys are all standing there, and he's supervising the cleanup.
That pumpkin touched me.
Well, you shouldn't let them touch you.
I don't like being touched.
Oh. Crusher and Darian start playing doctor because people are pretty messed up.
Yeah, Darian's actually feeding the fire. Kreiger's also helping with that.
Kreiger's got 165 hit points. Crusher puts the system down.
You gods! Come over here.
Yeah.
Are you injured?
A few scrapes. Nothing bad. It didn't bite me, says the sergeant. Nothing bit me.
And your men? Do I believe him when he says he's being really concerned about the nothing bit me thing?
Because there's a werewolf standing right in front next to him.
He doesn't look like he's bloodied at all.
All right.
Help move the bodies. There's some shovels over there.
Yeah,
Ptolemy just gives Shadow a wink. They grimly are pushing bodies into the pyre and helping. They seem to be in shock, some more than others.
Alkur is going to utilize the staff to blast out many heal spells.
Nice.
So we are going to assume that one note will come back alive. It would be really nice if it could. Yeah, please, one note. One note.
Shadow has some damage.
Ptolemy is breathing through his handkerchief as a lot of ash is being kicked around, and there's a considerable heat now coming from the fire. The men are hacking up the vines and and throwing them.
Alkur the White is not the healer. So it's actually 20 healing to everyone.
Okay. It seems to heal up the scrapes of Burne's Badgers and Sergeant Schmitty.
Is this within an hour?
That was in a few minutes. That was 5 rounds.
Okay. Shadow's not getting any healing until an hour passes. The elixir he takes just takes off hit points. Takes off from the top. Your max hit points are now 20 less, or 30 less, or whatever it is.
Okay, so you can't heal that.
Doesn't heal.
Okay.
What is it? 20, huh? Take that.
Grim work, but it appears that we did good work here. Assuming that this is the only pumpkin patch that has been created.
Indeed. We might have to backtrack its own. Might have to trace it back, see where it came from. Maybe there's something else it left behind.
This should be the largest of the bunch. I would like to get to crafting.
You there?
I have...
Godling!
I don't believe they're created as guards, so I think the term you're looking for is guard, but guardling, fine. Hey, guardling!
A couple they're looking up as they were hacking up vines and throwing them on the fire. Yeah. Well, I am your lord. No, you're not. Well, eventually I'll be lord of not only this, my quadrant, but another quadrant. Hey, random. Has the Pumpkinseed menace made its way to Hommlet? No. It attacked us here. Oh, yeah. How fares the people in Hommlet? Well, we've been stationed out here for a while. I think everything's fine. Oh yeah, it's fine, says the sergeant. Everything's good in Hommlet.
I suppose we should check.
We can teleport. We need to actually take the...
If we have successfully delayed, stopped, or otherwise inhibited the advanced force, I would prefer to go back to Nulb.
Nulb is a dangerous place. Yeah, full of cranberry eaters there, huh?
Yes. Cranberry eaters. Well, alright, so how many of the big things showed up here? Biggins. Ostrich kicks at the...
Yeah. Two. There were 2 of them.
Alright, so that means there was only one when they left Temple, so
At some point,
they...
another one.
Do pumpkin monsters do, like, the dirty? Because there was only one, so how...
You mean like this? Shadow's trying to grab Oscar.
Yeah, I will cut your fingers off.
Darian comes over. It appears that they're trying to do the same over there.
Yeah, just keep that fire burning. It'll be done.
Take a peek at the spawning.
Yeah, it looks like a combination of like a pumpkin patch where they were trying to feed the bodies of animals and people too.
Frogs and things like that.
Some of the dead bodies of the frogs, and you could see horses, and then some of Burne's badgers mixed in the mix.
Were they bringing the bodies in whole, or were they like bringing them in as bits?
Combination. It's hard to tell now that the fire is raging.
Yeah.
It looked like maybe 2 or 3 might have spawned in that might have spawned out of that place. Maybe
Godlings.
you can actually hear like every once in a while the fire crackles and like a pustule or a squash kind of explodes, and it actually makes like a pain, like an in pain noise, a cry when it does. And maybe some of the little pumpkin pukes were also being created there.
I'm just checking to see if I think I used my fireball wand, but if I didn't, I'm going to use it again just to fucking fan the flame.
You can hear more screams, but then after that fireball, the screams die down.
Yeah, we're just going to chuck a fireball in there just to. The cool guy doesn't look at explosions kind of fireball.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Sergeant Schmitty. Hey, he's a wizard, just like Lord Burne. The 2 other guards just nod, and he comes walking over to you. Ah, thank you, Mr. Wizard. Thank you.
Yes. Did any of the pumpkin monsters move forward from this location? Or were they all here?
Ah.
I can go scout out. Shadow just moves forward.
Please.
Ah, yes, we lost our scouts. There's only 3 of us left. Horrible screams. These creatures.
Yes. If Shadow determines that the creatures have not moved forward from this location, then you should make, with all due haste, back to Hommlet.
Yes, some of our horses might have run away. Maybe we should go look for the horses.
Wait for Shadow to investigate first.
Yeah, Shadow turns
Right.
into a wolf and starts smelling around.
Wait, one second. Hey! Hey!
Yeah.
What?
No.
Yeah, Max comes
Get
into
you.
the water, and Maybell's following him.
We'll be a couple of minutes. Might wanna come inside.
Okay, she hikes up her gown, and the dog squeezes.
There's a couple of barks, and Max leaves.
Oh,
Comes outside.
comes back outside. Okay.
Yep.
He starts coming down the road and meets up with Shadow up front.
Yep.
He growls and sniffs at the giant frog bodies.
Alright, Maybell, you might want to not go around the corner for a bit, but it's not a forest full of death frogs.
She just raises her eyes and gives you a wild look and just cleans off a spot and sits down.
Alright, I suppose I should contact Lord Burne. He would be the most appropriate for this.
Ptolemy rolls his eyes.
Well, if you learned sending, you could make contact with whoever you wish. Alright, and we're going to go to party pages, and we'll see if this... Come on, OneNote, come back to life. Don't die on me. I'm going to buy the proper install version because this online crap is terrible.
Dog roleplay just Ahmed Marty barking back and forth. Ruff, ruff. Oh, somebody got nipped.
Yeah, Shadow brings a.
What was Shadow doing? Were you looking for horses, or were you trying to track?
No. We're gonna track using scent and just survival. See if any of the plant creatures made it past this area.
Yeah, give me a roll.
Yeah. Hero points.
Yeah, you can give your extra one to one of your characters and choose between the two of you which one of Mark's characters gets the extra.
Alkur is getting the extra one today because we are going to make a lot of stuff, we hope.
I think Shadow's going to.
Cursed stuff isn't very fun. Or it's very fun.
You're doing a lot of crafting? You're planning on doing some downtime?
Okay. Alkur is planning to leave these suckers and go make all the toys for the new war, and if they're going to piss around looking for pumpkins in the woods, they can piss around looking for pumpkins in the woods.
All right, give me your survival roll.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was reading the chat. I was smiling there. Survival. Okay. God damn it. 24.
All right, you scout around. You don't see any of the wilderness nearby disturbed. You come to the conclusion. Your best guess is that at this point they came down the road for some time. Like you take a 10-minute walk in this direction, and you're like, they must have just walked down the road.
Okay. They didn't walk any further down here.
You're scouting around in the other direction.
Yeah, I'm gonna scout around.
24. If they did, they definitely took the road.
Okay, we'll run. We'll take 10 minutes. We'll run up the road, see if we can catch a scent of them or broken twigs or anything like that. Then we'll run back if there's nothing.
Okay. You don't see signs of them. Although you're not too sure, like, there being a road here, they didn't leave a lot of, like, spores or, you really don't find any signs of them.
Okay, that's fine. I'm satisfied. It runs back.
Okay, so Shadow is gone for about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
The fire is full on blazing by that point. Give me a D3. 1, you find a horse. 3, you don't find any.
1.
All right, so you found a single horse that might have belonged to this crew.
Okay, I tell Max to stay back. I turn into a shadow.
Yep.
And approach the horse.
The horse is war trained. It nickers a little bit when you approach.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's see. Handle animal. Lore, tanning. Nope. Not the handling that I want. Nature?
Sure.
All right. 37.
Okay, you wash some of your own scent off of it. You don't approach it from behind. You approach it. You grab its reins. It doesn't like you too much, but you manage to mount the horse and probably ride it back.
Mm-hmm. Max, stay well behind.
Yeah, Max is staying well behind.
Yeah, ride it back.
You had to turn back into shadow for that.
Yeah. I was shadow, not the
hybrid.
Hybrid. Yeah.
Okay, you lash the horse outside, probably not riding it through the burning courtyard, and you manage to rejoin the group probably half an hour later. What did everyone else do during that half hour?
Crusher was going to be healing Kreiger and Darian.
Okay. Yeah, Darian is helping. By a half an hour later, the entire place has been cleaned up and all the vines have been added to the fire.
Crusher's gonna go for DC 30s. Heal checks. That's good. So there's 3 of those?
Oscar's gonna poke around, see if there's any stuff we missed
2.
or hidden things or just kind of.
Yeah, you see signs that Burne's Badgers had brought some supplies with them, and had started refortifying this place, but they didn't really get far into any major construction. You have enough food now that there's only 3 soldiers left.
Yeah.
Probably for your group for like 3 months.
Yeah.
They were well provisioned. Shadow, you could read. Actually, they fought with crossbows, so you find a lot of bolts, not a lot of arrows.
Break them. No, that's fine. I've got plenty of arrows.
Okay, you find 30 of them if you look hard enough. Somebody had a bow for hunting or something.
I take those. I'm not taking those.
Okay, you're not that proud, is what you're saying.
I don't need arrows. Wait a minute, are those arrows?
Alkur is going to send a sending to Lord Burne.
Okay.
Intercepted Pumpkinseed at Moathouse. Only 3 gods survived. Continuing assault on temple. Do you have any clues on the Answer's last gem? It's now time. Tell me what you know.
You're gonna post it.
I'm posting it right now.
Let me post this response.
Oh, so we can raise dead and teleport now, you son of a bitch! Cocky bastards! Now I have a machine gun. Oh.
Okay, and that's the answer to that.
There we go.
Lord Burne, why would he know where the last gem is?
I may not know where it is. He's got any sort of secret crap about something. Tell me. Gems sparkle.
Yeah.
This quite very well could just be pissing in the wind. He was suspicious when we talked to him previously. Also, now that sending is like a 1-round cast or whatever, that's awesome.
Oh, the talk about legends is just waking me up.
Yeah, I know the Uka build was for a while stuck at 68, but I think I have it at 72 now. I have to take a look at the math. One D stupid damage.
Yeah, we're dealing in mega damage now.
Why do you even roll a die? It's a D8 plus 80.
How many D10 creatures do you kill?
With 1 strike.
It's at the point where you're just not allowed to fight normal mortals, because it's just not fair.
It's wrong. You become evil just by doing it.
So it's basically Dynasty Warriors.
Bouncing in the air.
Doing air combos and shit.
Zangief? Is that Zangief? And it's a whole bunch of them.
Devil May Cry would be one of the.
Yeah.
Oh. Or like a Bayonetta style combos.
Okay, you hear Lord Burne. Many thanks. Send guards home. I do not know. The temple has ways to pervert holy items deep within. We shall marshal forces here, Burne.
Well. They're warned. Alright, Ptolemy.
We still need to get the. Well, points to the wife. We need to get her home.
Oh, I know. We could send the guards with her.
I'd
I'd
like
like
to
the
run.
horse outside. There you go.
Godlings, now listen up. Burne has commanded you, on my behalf, as I am your rightful lord, to return back home in disgrace. You've failed your mission. But you could redeem yourselves by escorting Mabel Gundergroot back to her loving husband and to the grim sort of work that a bar wench has to do in the Inn of Welcome. Now, toddle off. Do take some food for the journey, though, and whatever else you need. The guards just sort of look at each other. Is that what Lord Burne said?
Effectively, he did ask for you to return.
That we're disgraced?
That part was embellishment.
Oh. All right. You found Mabel?
Yes.
Yes.
Hi, Mabel. The pie's never been the same since you left. Yeah, well, they shouldn't be. Come on, we'll bring you home, safe and sound. She looks really sad though.
We're
We'll do
going
our
back.
We'll do our best.
Don't worry, these ones know magic. They have a great wizard on their team, squad, unit, band.
Squad is the correct one.
Yeah, squad's more like 4, and there's lots more than 4 of you.
I prefer band myself.
Ah, see? Yeah? Great minds think alike, says
I
Sergeant.
prefer pack.
They like. Well, I guess they would like wizards in their town, right? It's run by a wizard.
They serve Lord Burne,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Wizards, yes.
Good folk.
All right. So
Come
That
along,
leaves
chaps. Go grab some food and water, and I'll escort Mabel to the horse. Guards. Just sort of...
probably going to want to bring a couple extra quivers of bolts.
Yeah, load up. They're back here.
They nod. They re-equip themselves and gather some supplies, and Schmitty goes around the fire and.
There shouldn't be anything ahead of you. Went pretty far. Nothing's there.
Good luck, they say to you.
Luck to you two fellas.
Yep. Well,
They seem unsure of Shadow and his his
yeah.
werewolf
Well,
form.
it is
They're
like a wolfy teeth.
all right. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have a feeling that Shadow's werewolfdom will be in some report somewhere.
So that one's name is Shadow, and he's a half-orc that Lord Burne has already met.
Tell him I said hi.
They
His brother.
They nod, not wanting to make any issue of. They saw what you did against the Pumpkinseed things, and
Shot shit out of them.
yep, they're fine. You guys,
Yep.
you guys are on their side.
If you see a big fucking dog out there, don't mind. He's just a big puppy dog.
Just don't touch him. You'll be fine.
All right. They grab their sacks and
Oh god!
yeah. Big wolf patrolling the easy there, easy. You send the survivors, including Maybell, basically home. If they can't make the 2-day trek to
if
2 or 3 day
they
trek,
can't
then...
go home, this is alright.
This place is shittier than. So I was able to get Kreiger 80 some healing. He's got 62 damage left.
Here's what I propose.
Everyone, Alkur the Black is speaking. Listen up.
In
What you
good
want,
conscience, we should be backtracking the steps of the Pumpkinseed. We have eliminated their main force, I would suspect. So whatever is found should be easy pickings. I will return to Nulb to work on crafting, along with anyone who would feel themselves useful there. I think that those who like to run through the wilderness, just looking at the two orc brothers, could backtrack and confirm that there are no more of those monstrosities lurking.
Oh, as honourable member of Team Weenie, I would like to go back to Nulb as well. I have a spell that I want to learn. Just a minor thing, but...
Yeah, my legs and running, I can do either really, but you're going to be working at the speed of dwarf. I got one speed, dwarf.
How long will all this crafting take?
Assuming everything goes well, it'll take approximately 4 days.
4 days inside that place, or 4 days outside that place?
It will take 4 days outside that place. It'll take somewhere around 80 hours or so.
Hey, Wither.
Yeah,
3 months. 3 months, give or take.
But 4 days.
4 days.
What do you expect us to do for 4 days?
Oh, I can run back and clean
I
everything up.
expect you to walk back to Nulb and destroy any pumpkins along the way.
It'll take us longer than 4 days to get back to Nulb.
Take you longer than 4 days.
Correct.
Find a horse.
We just gave away our horse.
And she needed it.
Well, no problem. I'm sure we can find another. Or perhaps you can ride Max.
At your own peril.
I really don't like giving our enemy 4 days to rest, recuperate, and redistribute their forces.
I would like to use your blade for at least several hours of that time to improve it. Additionally, improve weapons for everyone here. As
Darian.
well as defensive items, so that we do not get murdered.
If we've lost to them before, with the same gear we've got now, we're gonna lose to them again.
We need
I say
something
we get as much of an advantage as we can. I'm sorry, I do want to go back.
Oh yes, Otis and his workshop outside of time is a rare gift.
They won't expect us to be this much stronger.
In 4 days, we will accomplish more than 3 months' work.
I suppose the architect would be pleased.
Who?
One of the faces of the Five-Faced God.
All right.
I
Sure. Yeah, all right, buddy.
I believe it's the thumb. Is it the thumb?
I forget which.
That.
Shadow goes.
I think the architect is the one that like has the ability to manipulate things. The accuser is this is the judge.
The
This is the
judge,
war
the
god.
conqueror, the supervisor, mother, architect. I forget which one. The mother is probably the ring finger.
Right.
The
The
architect might be
supervisor is the pinky.
Yep.
So it's the architect is the thumb. So it is the thumb. Yes. All right. I still remember my 5 faces of the 5 face god.
Nice.
Maybe I should take somebody who worships the 5 face god. It's just really cool.
Yeah. Mother, conqueror, judge, architect. What was the fifth one I came? See?
Middle finger's the conqueror, because when you're being conquered, it's like, fuck you.
It'll be like the old picture of like the Dutch grannies while giving the finger to the camera. I'm gonna check some back here.
Who's the rude knight? The knight of rudeness.
Yes.
It does not give me pleasure to know that we're giving our enemies just as much time. But then again, they'll only have 4 days, and we'll have 3 months.
Yes.
By Alkur's calculations.
Yes. We do have a fair amount of treasure to optimize.
Very well.
Now, what are you doing for 4 days? Without your sword. For at least part of it.
I'll spend some time in prayer. I suppose we're not going to be able to rid the evil of Nulb, as we would let people know where we are.
Correct. Additionally, Alkur decides that he shouldn't talk about the lady, the angel tears that we need. We do have the shopping list. I do not believe any of it is accessible from Nulb.
Then I will guard your asses while you're doing your crafting.
Yeah, Team Weenie protocol still in effect.
Correct.
Sure. Shadow, Shadow, and Kreiger can take care of this.
I'm not.
It's Alkur.
Not to protest being called Team Weenie.
It's Alkur the Black today. That's Alkur the White. That's Alkur the Black.
Crusher, Shadow, how long will it take for you to get back to Nulb?
If this dumbass can keep up with me.
I can run faster than you, stupid.
No.
How many days is it normally?
It's like 6 from here, I think.
So
Shadow can.
they move quick. Those bros move fast.
Yeah. Who's the slowest?
Shadow 50.
Kreiger.
Kreiger can probably ride. Can Kreiger ride Max? Barbarian with a big axe on a.
Ken? Yep.
And
So it's like 2-3 days, and it's 6 days to Nulb.
so Krieger's got a 30-foot move speed on max. It would be like 40.
Yep.
And 40 is almost double. It'd be 4 days.
Yeah.
So it could be Kreiger, Shadow, friggin' Crusher.
And you sent your noble carriage back to Hommlet, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Oh, are we going back to the sanitarium to get the crazy guy who now seems like a genius? No, he's going to stay where he is. I fail to see what information he has that we don't. Well, that's the thing. He is strange bedfellows of the Temple of Evil.
yeah,
It's
Matt knows something.
It's a long trek. Not if you know teleport, it's not. You're gonna... You wanna...
Once I start crafting, you can do whatever you'd like. We could go pick him up. I mean, wouldn't you feel useful instead of guarding to those secrety room? It's already protected by fairies. You could have a prisoner to guard.
The only thing
you
I
know?
can think of, the only thing I can think of is he knows something about her that we don't. We know she's a fungus. That's it.
Oh, yes. You know, just because they worship demon lords, and ladies, I guess, in this case, Lareth being a... Please don't say their names unless you have to. Spider Lady and Fungus Lady. I don't think those two ladies get along.
No.
He might be more use than we think.
You do realize the plan of the Fungus Lady is to destroy the fundamentals of the planes and pervert them? I doubt there are any non-purely destructive chaotic forces that would tolerate such activity.
Oh, and to seed the prime material with a new form of life.
Yes. The spider death goddess probably is not allied to that.
She used to be an elf, you know.
Yes.
Maybe there's a teeny weeny bit of hope left in... She has a single cockle left in her heart that might care about what happens to elves.
Knowledge, religion, or lore, something, dark planes, occults, whatever.
What's the question?
What do I know about the history of the drow and Lareth? And all my numbers are the same, so I can just roll the thing. You can tell me what the answer is, and just pick the one of those.
Sure, it's more useful one.
Yeah. And someday I should probably start rolling my lore academia because I'm actually better at that than I'm at these other things. 25.
During a really early age, Lareth was a minor deity that belonged to the Seldarine, which is the Elven pantheon. She became ambitious, though, and plotted against Corellon. And you think something about her trying to help Grumpsh, who was Corellon's arch enemy and the head of the Orcish pantheon, was the first attempt. As punishment, she was exiled into the Demon Web pits in the Abyss and became like an abyssal lady and deity. Those who were her followers and their entire race were cast down
See,
as punishment.
it all depends on the nature of evil. If someone wishes to torment or torture, having nothing to torment or torture in and of itself would be torment or torture of them. So I suspect that she, at a fundamental level, would not want for the complete and utter annihilation of elves, but more the revenge upon them for being cast out and the corruption suffered by her people. It is
curious that she was alive during a time when there were other gods, and those gods apparently are no more. But she's still around?
perhaps because she was also a demon, not powerful enough to register depending on what's going on, or there's some sort of exceptions for perhaps both angelic and demonic beings. Maybe lesser goodly gods are also unaffected by whatever the calamity was.
Darian takes a long sigh and then says, "Echoes. I have heard of artifacts before that are echoes of their god's power."
Alkur is not going to describe the Lolth artifact that we have in great detail because it would get smashed. No. Don't break my tongue.
It is possible when gods die that pieces of them remain behind. Things that they've invested their power in. Things that were once holy to them. Echoes. I'm proposing this as just another theory.
I understand. It does cause for some thought. The question would become how much sentience does an echo have when it interacts with divination spells and those that are said to have been actual contact with your deity. Does the essence or life force of your deity still have the ability to preconceive or fathom the situations around them? To understand whether or not actions will be for good or for foreboding. These sorts of magics imply a level of sentience of the deity that an echo, by its very nature, would not have, unless the echo itself is more of a sort of more like a divine vessel that captures the spirit as well as the being of the deity in more long-term scenario. Hey, so if we're really worried about wasted days, why don't we stick you in the time thing so that you can make the stuff, and in there you can pontificate on the nature of deities. And while you're in there, make me a better pig sticker.
Possum sticker.
Possum's good too. Yes. Will you make it to clearing the path back to Nulb? Who all will be partaking in this?
Oh, it's Shadow, Kreiger, and Crusher.
This shouldn't be a problem.
I'll guard Team Weenie. Outside, I don't think I have the patience. For 3 months. Although, there is that radio thing.
We could listen to the radio.
I wouldn't.
Or we could spend, we could take part of Team Weenie to, because they got the ogre there, to go pick up Lareth. We don't even have to pick him up. We could just go have a chat with him.
I really don't like that man.
He might know where your gem is.
Oh, fuck.
The gold is desires, never man's hurt.
Find out where my gem is. If I go with you, it'll just be problematic.
Yeah.
Besides,
I believe we're going home, Ptolemy.
Oh, yes. Excellent. I wonder if one of the Crushers wants to come with us. Oh, one of the Wolfsheims wants to come with us.
We could bring Kreiger that way. Those guys, or we could bring a Wolfsheim, because
Let Ahmed play something.
yeah, specifically let Ahmed play something. Otherwise, we'd let the fast guys go and then take the guy go visit his mom.
As much as I enjoy Shadow's company, Bone Crusher's the one I want to manhandle prisoners.
Yes. My presence is... They know me there.
Yes, we choose Bone Crusher.
Like
Red Rover, Red Crusher over.
Yes, it's a fun game. When Ptolemy pointed at you, his figure turned into a tentacle a little bit and turned back.
Although I enjoy exercise, fuck running for 4 days.
Kreiger, I'll just climb on Wolf's back, right? All right.
Yeah.
Okay, good luck. Remember the things that I want you to build for me.
Yes. I'll need your staff, by the way.
Yeah. He hands it over. At least I have a backup one.
He takes the staff. He immediately hands it to Darian because he can't hold another staff.
Like, oh God!
We found an item to help with that, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay, give me a second here.
There's a perceptible like shake of the head from Darian as he holds onto the staff. Let me hold on to this for you. You wouldn't want to put on any muscle mass. Wouldn't want to strain you.
Ptolemy,
Yes.
you remember this morning's agreement, right?
What was this morning's agreement?
I prepared to destroy, and you were to prepare to teleport.
Yes. So you didn't memorize teleport?
I did not prepare for this morning. I prepared disintegrate instead.
Oh, right. Well,
And a very powerful lightning bolt, which I didn't get to use.
fine. So I have to teleport a lot of you back to Nulb, and then we'll leave from Nulb.
We'll just be the group of us. Squish will go in the hole.
We'll probably have to teleport from Nulb to back to here, and then maybe teleport to where did everyone go? Smokey's Wayside Inn, and then we could probably make it to the Sanitarium. From there, unless we go to Castle Zargul, but I don't know. Did we kill all the vampires?
Okay, so
Let's make a face.
not castles or ghoul.
All right, let's not go back there. We might get stuck inside a tower and starve to death.
Yep. They don't have possums in that tower. They got
Yeah.
rats though.
All right, everyone in the hole then.
We don't need to go in the hole. They're going to walk. Bye bye.
We don't need the hole then. Although we can stick this really heavy stick in it if we need to.
Yes.
He's like twirling the stick around.
It's very heavy.
I think you need to eat more.
Food doesn't agree with me.
Okay, so Ptolemy teleports to the vicinity of Nulb.
And Alkur, not fucking around, is going to do a wanderer's guide back to the dude's friggin' desk or whatever. Like,
What does Wanderer's Guide do?
Wanderer's Guide is amazing, and it's like a low level spell. So good. Here, Wanderer's Guide is like Find the Path, but it's like a third circle spell.
Okay, so you ended up sort of north and east of Nulb in an area that you hadn't explored before, kind of placing you north of the temple as well. Use Wanderer's Guide to navigate your way back to Nulb.
It also reduces your movement speed penalty along your way by a half, and it guides you to the destination. If you deviate from the path that they're giving to you, the spell ends. Sorry, if you have to go back to where you deviated from the path. So if you go off, you have to come back. If you leave travel mode and move into encounter mode, you do not have the move speed penalty reduction.
Got it. Ptolemy, once you guys find and see Nulb in the distance, Ptolemy then casts invisibility on those who are returning, which is Alkur and Darian.
Mm-hmm.
I'll erase 2. You might have to hoof it from here. Run!
This way.
Okay, you and Darian basically run and return to the smithy, making your way into Nulb and back into the smithy as the spell is ending, and then Ptolemy has 1 teleport left today, so I think he's going to teleport as far west as he can, and that would lead him to.
Wait. Why don't we just go grab a nap?
Fine.
Just a short one, like a 1-day nap, some food. Take a shit on the pot.
Invisibility is a signature spell. Can you increase the spell level even though you don't need to? Like, can you use a 4-circle spell to cast?
So that's what they've got a bunch of staffs and items and shit that do it. So I don't see why a wizard couldn't for sorcerer.
What is the? I see. Invisibility 4th level makes it improved invisibility.
Yes. Oscar can turn himself invisible.
Okay.
And Alkur has invisibility on, like, he prepared as well.
Okay, so that's enough invisibilities as Ptolemy can cast 1 more to get that whole group of you invisible as you navigate your way back inside of Nulb. Nulb seems to be business as usual, although there's just like a considerably less foot traffic in the streets.
Half the population's dead.
Well, your attack on Nulb plus the last caravan that it was brought down. There's still people here, but
there's definitely one of those, like, post Great War kind of, like, not a lot of dudes.
Right. No one between 15 and 50.
Yep. What if we could import some labor from Turkey?
You do hear the sprites or the pixies or whatever fae that he has guarding his place. It gives you a little bit of a hard time, and then eventually Otis, they find Otis for you.
Otis, I have plans.
All right, tell me a little bit about the plans that you've made.
All right, if we go to party pages, crafting lists, there's a big long list of stuff. So we don't know what the name is yet, but it's currently called Kreiger's Mega Hammer.
Mega Hammer. Let's see if I could share that.
There's something about a flamey smashy, but we're ignoring that for now. It's going to call it the Mega Hammer, which was the upgrades put into Kreiger's Hammer. We had to figure out how much it cost.
Mm-hmm.
So this isn't affecting our time, but his +1 striking maul was turned into a +1 greater striking standard steel maul with the extra power from a flame tongue as well as the retributive with retributive.
Just want to say, we should all bow.
With extra power, and it's keen. This was actually relatively cheap to make. It was only 292 gold pieces, but it required us to sacrifice like a 15,000 gold piece sword. Worth it. Or it might have been a 3,800 gold piece sword. Next in the list is Crusher's Wraps. They need a name as well. This started with a +2 striking hand wraps. The donor weapon for this was Frostbrand. The final weapon that we're creating here, a Frostbrand, is a +2 greater striking, greater frost greatsword that has an extra power to be able to do stuff with flames. It's a 10,000 gold piece item.
Crazy.
The final weapon here is a +2 greater striking, greater frost, corrosive hand wraps with the extra power to snuff out flames. And that's a 1,300 gold piece swing while sacrificing a 10,000 gold piece.
Wait. Any flames?
There's rules. If you look up,
I'm just saying,
frost
Elemental Plane of Fire. It's going to be interesting.
Well, it might be. I think there's a size
We
thing.
need to solve something. This isn't working.
To create those wraps is 5 crafting sections. So it is 20 days to make those wraps.
Sorry, guys.
And then there's like leftovers in here, like the stuff to sell later. Shadow's Bow, which is now called Godstrike, was a +1 striking, shocking composite longbow. A +1 striking thundering trident was used as a donor weapon, as well as the Crescent of Declos Spring, the +2 striking scimitar that also gives fishing lore. The final weapon that we've produced here is the +2 greater striking, shocking thundering composite standard grade wood longbow.
The terms
Standard
are funny. Standard grade.
Yeah, the grades thing in this is annoying. We did spend 1,100 gold pieces on that bow. It was 3 actions to produce, so it was a little bit easier to make than some of the other weapons. So only takes 12 days to create that. Oscar's dagger, which needs a name as well. This was one of the daggers of venom from the treasure pile. It's being combined with the +2 striking, flaming, unholy mace, and is being produced into a +2 greater striking, flaming dagger with poison power. So it's the dagger of venom with +2 greater striking and flaming. About 1,000 gold pieces, 3 runes, 12 days to make it. We still have an unholy mace at the end of this. I don't think I need to give Darian any more reason to want to punch me in the face with his sword.
Okay. Yep. With his sword, which now has a shocking rune inside the Holy Avenger. Cool.
Yep, we're putting a shocking rune in the Holy Avenger, so Darian's answerer. We're getting some armor for Ptolemy, because Ptolemy's running around with no armor, so we're getting Ptolemy's magic jumper. So we're making +2 resilient shadowed high-grade clothing.
Cool.
The price there is off. It's actually the 950 at the bottom. We're using the shadow rune for this, and we're using the +1 resilient splint nail as the donor for resilient.
So when you say donor, you're just basically moving runes around?
Yeah. When donor's being used is I've used this to create it, and the leftover is what it's left as afterwards.
Cool. Okay.
So all the leftovers get put into a pile to sell again.
Neat.
Kreiger's armor was +1 resilient chainmail. We are donating from the +2 greater resilient full plate to create +2 greater resilient chainmail. I forgot to put in here. This was standard grade steel chainmail. Yeah, the material change is already caught in there. I forgot to put in the name. Alkur's apron started as a +1 resilient apron. The donor is a +2 resilient half plate to create +2 resilient apron. So that is complete.
This is awesome. The hand wraps on the wolf.
Max's paw wraps, which probably need a better name. But this is the starting weapon was the +2 striking hand wraps, and we put ghost touch on them to make a +1 striking ghost touch hand wraps on Max. So Max can now eat ghosts.
And his base damage for his bite is better.
Yeah, it's an extra dice on the damage. So instead of like a 2d8 bite, it's a 3d8 bite.
Shadow's armor, final is +1 resilient greater shadow standard grade studded leather. Cool. There's a staff of healing, a greater pendant of occult, Ptolemy's wand of haste, a wand of heal, a wand of resist energy 4th, an explorer's yurt. That's fun. Upgrade to a skeleton key, 2 holy prayer beads, 5 lifting belts. That's funny.
These are the things that'll let Alkur hold the stick.
Nice.
Yeah, and a partridge in a pear tree. So if we look at the top here, Alkur has 20 crafting actions that Ali can help with.
Mm-hmm.
And then our gracious host has 26 crafting actions. And each crafting action is 4 days, assuming you don't fuck it up.
And then, are there rolls that need to be done here? Or?
There's DCs on stuff. So the stuff which I don't have in here.
Yep.
The stuff that we care about, because we assume that our God King crafter doesn't fuck up.
Yeah, that's fine. It's the gift. Yep.
So the other actions, so basically the bottom half there, so from the staves down, those have rolls. And I originally I was putting down there, so like level at the beginning I was putting down the levels. So like level 8 for the staff.
Do you
level
fail
9.
on ones?
I fail on ones if I take the right amount of time. If I was making enough, I only fail on a 1 if I don't double the time it takes to do it.
Are you doubling?
But since
or
well, I've got 20 actions. The weapon crafter is using 26 actions.
Got it.
Every action is 4 hours.
Got it. Okay.
So I think I'm failing on a 1, but Ali.
What is the total that you get?
Sorry,
what is the total bonus to your crafting?
Alkur's bonus to crafting on most days. on most days, his total bonus to crafting is plus 23. With an 8 from Ali, that's 24.
Right, and the DC for an 8th level item is 24.
Okay, so 8s are just kind of.
So
Yeah.
Staff of Healing is done. Ptolemy's Amulet needs a roll.
Okay.
Just give me a D20 roll.
All right. Done.
The wands don't need a roll. The Explorer's Yurt, I think, is a little bit higher level.
It's a 10th level item.
That's
or 11th level item.
DC 27, sorry. Unless it's uncommon.
Give me a second. The Explorer's Yurt is. I think it's a 10th level item. 10th level item, 10th level item.
Nope, it's not uncommon.
Okay.
DC 27.
Easy.
The wands are fine. The skeleton key, I don't know what level that is.
The skeleton key greater, I think, is a problem. Because I think it's an 11th level item. So, 11th, I think so. Give me a second. I should have wrote this down when I was going through. Yes, 11th level item.
Okay.
It is a common 11th level item.
That DC is 28? Question mark.
And
28.
28? Okay. And the reason why I'm saying normally is if Alkur the White has to craft, he's one less good at crafting. And that key is cursed.
You're using
is
a
it
hero
cursed?
point.
I've got it. I rolled natural 1, but I have 2 hero points. I will spend a hero point not to have a cursed item, although it's fun to have a cursed item.
Okay.
If this is a 1, it's just good as it's going to be. It's one of those. No, it's not cursed. It's fine.
Okay. The Greater Holy Prayer Beads. Now, these are uncommon.
These are uncommon, and they're high level too. And these ones being cursed would be hilarious. Hey, I made this for you.
You just go, hey, we're getting a bunch of weird prayers from someone who's not our god. Are we going to answer? How can we make this?
You make cursed ones that like lose the paladin paladinhood?
Oh, that's funny.
That would
That's funny shit.
What page are these on?
They're on page 573, and this I have to make as actually. I have to make these as Alkur the Black or Alkur the White to make this. So I have my craft checks 1 less.
Okay. 573. Oh, they're 11th level items, and they're uncommon. So the DC is 33.
Well then, let's just see how this goes.
Ali, do you want to make your
You make your aid.
aid checks?
Aid me, son of a bitch.
Sure.
I need a good aid.
35.
That's a critical aid.
All right.
+2.
You want me to just roll these?
Where? Shut your mouth.
You know, you're completely screwing this up. You should not. Okay.
So I have 6 extra actions. So I'm going to take my time with these,
Okay.
and I will double the crafting time on these.
Okay.
So, which is going to help with this. So 24 plus 26. I'm going to do it this way. 46 or 42 on the first one,
Nice. Done.
and on the second one, 35. Damn it, what an easy one.
33.
I'm good.
Alright. You have the greater holy beads and the lifting belts.
The lifting belts, the lifting belts are like a third level item or something like that.
Okay. So it's not like you're gonna have a cursed one that all of a sudden turns into a stone of weightless or weighted stone in the middle of combat. It's like, why during the dragon fight? Okay. So yes. So you guys spend 3 months basically inside of. Ptolemy is going to spend 5 days inside that place before leaving with the group because he wants to retrain one of his first level spells. He no longer needs mage armor because he's getting his jumper. So he retrains it to, like, I don't know, telekinetic projectile or something like that. I think he could fling a bomb or a potion or something like that. But
Oscar's going to inventory the room, looking for what the one thing he would want if he were to take up the thing with the thing.
yeah, the painting's really interesting. It's showing all sorts of visages of important people.
Mm-hmm.
Darian stays outside for a while. Ptolemy leaves Squish with him for a bit, even though Darian doesn't like Squish. Let me go to the workshop outside of time. Oop, there's 2 Otises. Doppelganger.
And for that crafting list, please don't delete it because I have to add some stuff to my recipe list.
Yep. You guys do listen to a very interesting broadcast on the Planner Radio. This is Free Prime Radio on Astral M770, an Exodus multiverse multicast, broadcasting to you from a god's medulla oblongata, or what's left of it. This is Lectures of the Prime Importance by Professor Zeitgeist. We now join the program already in progress. You see, the principles and the doctrine of the Shadowed Temple are this. The Athor believe that divine power comes from faith and conviction, and one need not worship a god to cultivate it. One can simply believe in oneself and power all the divine miracles of any cleric. The gods falsely claim monopoly over this power and act like petty tyrants with holy wars and fragile egos and totalitarian attitudes towards their worshippers. But don't let an old man, Professor Zeitgeist, bore you with such trivialities. Perhaps we could go to a recording of Athan of the Athar in his famous speech on the steps of the Shattered Temple.
Even I lost track of what he's saying.
Unmuted.
In the great cities of the world, temples to a multitude of gods and deities cluster together a cacophony of holy symbols obscuring the sky, where the gods are said to dwell. On days of solstice and harvest, you can hear a dozen or more different messages of truth and salvation, preached from a dozen or more different priests, the heads of a dozen or more different temples, each promising to be the one true way, each claiming exclusivity, each preaching against each other. Here you may hear another message, whispered throughout the streets of Sigil, or talked about in its cafes. This message is quiet, but it resonates longer than the exhortations of the multitude of the clergy. It is a message of independence, of freedom, of dignity. It is a message that speaks of a power greater than the gods, that any person can access without attending a service or making a single tithe. The message of the Athar is this: the gods are frauds. And you can hear like an assembled crowd kind of oohing and awing at that statement. Some people are cheering, but there are others that are jeering.
Well, that seems unnecessarily provocative.
The organization that claims to preach this message, that whispers it, that speaks of it, and writes about it in terms of law, and teaches it to students of magic, we are called the Athar. Of course the gods exist. Say the Athar. They exist just as orcs and dragons and demons exist. But much like a dragon, they sit atop their piles of divine power, hoarding it, only giving it to servants and sycophants. Each cleric and paladin is no better than a sniveling kobold, hoping to serve any creature more powerful than it. The gods are misers! And say the Athar, they are necessary! It is not Pelor who brings in the harvest. It is not Bahamut who protects the weak. It is not Bane who grants victory. Who does these things? You do! You control your own destiny. You tap into your own native destiny and divinity. When the dark night comes, demanding your life, those divinities whose puppets sit in gilded temples will not save you. They will let your soul slip through the Shadowfell, no matter how devout you are. You can save yourself, however, and all it takes is belief. Abandon your servitude to your selfish deity, say the Athar. See how they war amongst themselves. They are unworthy of the love you give them. The gods are factious, petty, self-interested, and insecure. Coralon wars with Groomsh and Loth. Tiamat and Bahamut rage against each other. Arathis brooks little insolence from Avandra or Melora, and Pelor, the Raven Queen, can barely stand to be in the same room with each other. The list of deific tiffs have blossomed into constant campaigns of petty backstabbing, if not full-blown holy wars.
Is this a recording?
That's what Ptolemy, that's what Professor Zeitgeist says.
Because I believe some of those deities are dead. So they're not doing it right now.
Is longer than any sage can scribe, and is rife with body counts and troubles for mortal followers. They claim immortality and omnipotence, but the gods are neither. The Athar look out over a veritable graveyard of deities whose empty husks drift forgotten in the astral sea. The world existed before the gods came to it, created before the Dawn War. You hear like a tisk from like Professor Zeitgeist, like there might be something there that isn't factual. And this world will exist long after, but they are but a memory. The gods cannot promise eternal life. They themselves do not possess it. The Athar can show you this graveyard if you need proof of God's fallibility. They can show you heroes and champions with powers the likes of clerics and saints, powered by their own true inner divinity without serving a single god. They can show you all these wonders and more. All you need to do is follow them through a doorway. The churches, they dispute this. Of course they must. To say that you do not need a deity is to help you through your struggles, that you can do it on your own, is tantamount to blasphemy. And what's more, it threatens their power base. The less faithful, less tithes, less people willing to throw themselves bodily into the next holy war, equals less power. That is, of course, what it is all about. Power. The gods have it. The Athar, of course, do not. And that is why they must whisper and talk in cafes and in schools and in large protected cities. They have had some success in converting cities and countries to their message. Founding schools and hospitals, these are necessary quiet successes, so as not to attract the attention of the powerful churches of the land, of the prime, who would crush this heresy whenever they found it. The Athar say that with more followers and more help, with your help, they may continue to grow stronger. They need heroes to defend them against the inquisitors of the churches. They need crusaders to crush the temples of the gods. They need your help. If you are receptive to their message, if you too would like to liberate the souls of mortal beings, enabling them to perform their own miracles, rather than begging and bargaining with distant, arrogant deities. Together, the Athar say, a mass of kobolds can overwhelm even the most powerful dragon, and it can take its power for their own, to use it as they see fit. And are you not better than a kobold? This fight is for nothing less than the freedom, nobility, and autonomy of the spirit. For each and every being, join the... And then there's a gunshot sound and a bunch of people screaming.
I'm kind of shocked that didn't end more
Violently.
abruptly. Lightning from the heavens. Just a large rock manifesting above the speaker and falling down.
No. This is one of the more public speeches made by a very enthusiastic and short-lived factol of the faction of the Athar. Ethan of the Athar died, of course, on those shattered steps. It was not a cleric, but it was a strange sort of weapon that killed him. Ironic, perhaps. Still, their dogma is excellently captured by this famous speech. Do not worship the gods, they say, for they are frauds, deceivers, liars, manipulators, power-mad misers, and they are not worthy of your worship. A very interesting train of thought. They do have some redeeming qualities, although overshadowed by those of faith. Teach others. Yes. A strange sort of truth through their no less than, well, zealotry, and a strange sort of religion around their own belief. If divinity truly lies within each of us, we must ennoble each other's souls, provide support and assistance to each other. This is Lectures of Prime Import by Professor Zeitgeist. As always, be safe. Well, that was a heavy topic here. Why don't we switch things up to an hour of Pandemonia recordings, the mad ramblings of Slotty G. And it is truly maddening music. It is a slad doing jazz, basically.
Scat slad.
Yeah, scat, slad, jazz, horrible frog sounds, and
So, are there any other stations?
So there is long stretches of silence where the planar radio, which is in tune with some sort of echo from the past. You don't know how long ago this was, but you
It was long enough that they're talking about gods fighting, and the gods fighting every one of those gods I think is dead.
Yeah.
Oh, the Reverend might have shot him. It's like a very reverend thing to do.
That was Midwick's nemesis, yeah? The Reverend?
The Reverend was Midwick's nemesis. The Reverend was many people's nemesis. Anybody who basically, if you existed, the Reverend was your nemesis. He's a pretty bad guy. He was
So this was a radio broadcast that was an echo from the past where they were examining a past speech.
Exactly. So we have no idea, like, which of those gods were dead. Don't know. They would have been dead already. Yeah. So it's just like, oh. They're upset that all these gods aren't listening to them. It's like, well, yeah, it's kind of what gods do, though.
All right. After 5 days inside of the workshop outside of time, Ptolemy finishes his spell and then is going to escort Oscar and Bonecrusher to kind of teleport hop. 5 days is more than enough time for Shadow and Kreiger to make their way back. You do give me a survival check as you guys are trying to find the remnants of the.
So, are they back? Because
5 days?
It's 5 days. 5 days in the thing.
Oh
It's
no,
5
no,
hours.
that's 5 hours. Never mind. No, but just give me the rolls anyways.
Yeah.
Okay, how many rolls do you want?
Just one.
39.
You do find where they went onto the road. They kind of cut a path cross country as the road eventually goes north south, and they were coming from the temple, which is over in the east. And you do hunt down. It's more like you find like little growing patches, nothing quite as big as the giant horrors, but you do find like a smattering here and there that you managed to burn out of the little pumpkin pukes, like where they might have killed a bird or like a deer or something, and then it was slowly turning into
Pumpkins.
into a fell pumpkin patch. You pretty much could walk all the way back to the temple if you wanted, following the path. Is that what you and Kreiger do?
No. We go to Nulb.
So what I'm saying is, if we go back to the
No,
map,
I know what you mean.
So you guys.
While you sort this out with Ahmed, I'm going to be right back. It's late and I need to put food in me and I haven't, and my tomorrow's going to suck. I know.
Yep.
Yes. We go back to the temple. Kill everything along the way. But we want to be mindful that there is a freaking dragon out there.
Mm-hmm.
There are some things that are dangerous. We're not going to go all the way to the temple. We're going to get a little bit past Nulb, but we're going to keep our distance from the temple. We're not. Once we kill one, we will deal with the temple en masse, not with a man, his dog, and his barbarian.
He is barbarian. I like that. All right, let me put a token down. And you could tell me how close that you guys get, or you can point at the map and let me know.
Yeah.
So we'll put a shadow down.
Hold on. We are on.
So
where's the
the path
Lurak?
the path of the Pumpkinseed kind of went like this. I could draw a.
Right, we're probably gonna get to here. Oops. Like a day or so out. Yeah, so we're gonna get to there.
Okay,
I'm guessing that's about 2 days out.
it's like a day away from the temple, probably.
A little bit more then. Shadow's not sure how fast dragons fly, but it's not fucking with it.
Okay, give me a percentile to see if there's a random encounter close to the temple.
Yeah.
15 or lower on the D100.
Whew.
Okay, so you guys root out and kind of burn out any of the small pumpkin growths, but then think that you're getting too close to the temple.
Yeah.
When do you head back, and what route do you take back to Nulb?
We're not gonna. What we'll do is we'll circle around. We'll circle around to the left and head north.
Okay, so you're kind of going cross country, basically.
Yeah.
Back to Nulb. All right. So that probably takes you. It's like a 6-day walk at your speed. It would be about 4, but then you guys took like a side route, so you're probably going to get back in about 5 or 6 days. Meanwhile, Ptolemy and Crusher and Oscar are going to go on a teleport trip. One teleport to the vicinity of the Moathouse, another teleport to the vicinity of Smokey's Wayside Inn, and the last teleport puts you in the vicinity of the Sanitarium. Sanitarium, and then the Ptolemy does have 3 teleports per day. So that burned all of his 6-level spells, getting you there that day. Now, you are somewhere in the mountains. Let's see. 1d1, 1d10. 10, you're in a very precarious spot. 1, it's you kind of know exactly where you are and it's safe. 4, okay, you're in some rugged terrain.
Yeah, let's see if Bone Crusher can do some. I think Bone Crusher has survival. Give me a sec. Yeah, he's pretty good actually.
Okay, give me a survival check.
19.
Okay, you guys do have a 50-foot cliff you need to scramble down.
We have rope.
Ptolemy casts a fly spell on him and Oscar, and I think Bone Crusher just jumps down. Okay, all right. Yeah. So 11th level characters are not stymied by by big cliff. First level characters would be. Of course, they're not teleporting. It takes you a few hours to get back to the Sanitarium, and things look relatively quiet there. It is good. It is good to be home. This is kind of been Crusher's home away from home, from Sparrow Village for a long time.
Hey, Mark. We have the hit points. Just jump.
That's funny.
We do. Except for Oscar. And Tom.
And Ptolemy's got over 100 hit points.
Does he? Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fuck it. Just Crusher pushes him over. You'll live.
All right. I'm going to bring us to the conversation layer, I think. Get Ptolemy, Oscar, and...
We are playing tomorrow, folks.
Yep.
Today was a lot of. We started hours before we actually streamed just to get a lot of things out of the way.
all the shopping and crafting and that sort of thing.
Yeah, and like looking through, researching costs and how long it takes and stuff.
Feels bad, exactly. real life, somebody trips down the stairs and dies on a 50-foot cliff. I've jumped off a 40-foot cliff into water before. That was pretty. That's about as reckless as. Yeah, well, the water stings. Oh, I brought my hands out like a little bit too late. Oh, I had a little bit of a sting underneath my arms. So it was not as bad as it could have been, but I don't think we had.
What's up, Kenny?
Don't had tokens for all the monks and everything back in this place, did we? Sanitarium?
We had the main monk. I think we had 2 monks. I think we had 2 monks. There was also a guy who's blind, kind of blind.
Yeah.
He was in one of the cells.
Temple, Moathouse, Mountain Pass, maybe? No. So that's kind of where you appeared.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of up on one of these rocks, and then near Dragon Tooth Pass, and then you walked for a couple hours back to.
Yeah, there's a spider spot that we.
That's where a spider jumped us. I think it's his corpse right there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there's Mother Superior and Senior Warden. Okay, I found them. And then Lareth. There were some people in cells, including Zad Colby, See No Evil, and Lareth the Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I found them. Well, you're the resident monk. I'll let you take lead, even though they're my subjects. Remember that.
Yes.
Well, that's assuming we're going to ask for permission, says Oscar.
We'll see how this goes. We'll see how much they actually know. I assume they all have gems. The important ones.
Oh, yes, we could check.
Once they realize... Well, we don't have to check, but once... If it is true and they realize we know what is happening, they might know... This might not be... There might not be a conflict here at all.
Darian beats a guy until he learns to be Lareth the fucking quiet. Mark hated that NPC, I think. Funny. All right, so you're gonna go approach the head monk, the senior warden.
Yeah.
Okay. He was in a meeting with Mother Superior Dasa, and she notices Crusher's return and gives a curt nod and goes about her business. Ah, Bone Crusher.
Senior Warden.
Lord Van Imp? Oh, yes. Ptolemy straightens his shirt. He looks to Oscar but doesn't know Oscar's name, so he just doesn't acknowledge Oscar.
Oscar, one of my companions.
Oh, yes, of course. We were not expecting you back. Word from Hommlet said that you had brought the fight against the agents of the temple.
Yes.
It gladdens my heart to see that you're alive.
And well, most of the temple has been destroyed, except we're still fighting the remainder of it. We came seeking some information.
Yeah, well, my deep wisdom in the libraries of the monastery are at your disposal.
Of course, no, we would appreciate that. There's also something that I need to ask of you.
Yes, I am the most learned here.
What do you know about the temple and what lies within?
The temple of elemental evil is deep-rooted in evil magics.
Are you aware that this is not the first time that we have been to this temple to fight it?
I don't see how that is possible. You have been under our tutelage for quite some time.
Crusher now understands. He doesn't know shit.
Yeah. There are many theories as to the exact nature of the temple itself and from whence it came.
Warden, I must ask a favor of you. Do you trust me?
Yeah. It depends on the favor.
I would beg of you to release Lareth the Beautiful into my custody.
Oh no, he is...
Why don't we just have a chat with him first?
Perhaps.
He is far from rehabilitated. It'll take a near lifetime for him to atone for his sins.
I would return him.
And to renounce his evil deity.
So, you're supposed to have a guy filling out a book
Hey,
with all of his
Frozen.
ramblings. So, you got those ramblings in a way that we can read?
Yes, we do have the mad ramblings of one... He looks suspiciously at Oscar, and he's like, looks back to Bone Crusher, like, are you asking for this?
Yes.
We do have the mad ramblings of one Zad Colby. Now there's one that's even more dangerous than this Lareth the Beautiful.
As insane as it sounds, we do need to speak with him.
I don't see what sort of knowledge you're going to get from these madmen. Now, I've read many books about the theories behind the Temple of Elemental Evil.
Warden, we have been to lower levels of the temple.
Oh,
What you have in the books, what you have in the books is not what we need. Lareth has been there. And that is the mind I need to question. I hope there is some sanity that might come out of that mouth of his. And in case it helps us in any way, we need it. We traveled a great distance just to speak to him. And we need to travel back as soon as possible before they raise another army. Timing is of the essence. I beg for your aid.
That low-key another army flex. Before they get another army.
Yes. I do suppose that you can question the prisoners. We pray to the gods and to Saint Solars that they give you the answers that you need, although they are not to be removed from their shackles or cells. They are too dangerous to have running around, and I will not have on my good conscience any more evils perpetrated by those who are now safely confined here for the remainder of their lives.
You might want to ask about their medical records, Crusher. Like, do they have a funny bump on their sternums?
That'd be interesting. Have they been medically examined?
They are both fit enough.
Is it possible that we can examine them? In their shackles. We're looking to examine the sternums, to be specific.
I shall have 4 monks back you up for security. I also want to record what it is that they say.
That is fine, as long as it does not interfere with us. Those monks can stay in the background.
Very well.
It's over.
Unless these fuckers been power leveling behind our backs.
Darian sends his regards. He remains close to the temple to monitor it.
Yes.
Little did you know your bully's XP is tied to your XP. He's always 2 levels ahead of you and gives you nuggies.
Because he's your master.
How is this possible?
No, you're pretty sure you could take him, Crusher. Very well. He writes something down on a piece of parchment and puts his seal on it and hands it to you.
Does the monks bow?
Yep. He nods. He nods to you. No slaying.
He's like, no, we're not going to slay anyone.
Okay.
Here, anyways. Don't say much about outside.
Oscar takes note of the odd assessment that slaying as such a fundamental thing is not allowed, which might mean that implicitly other things that might be viewed as sins might be allowed. It's not slaying.
Deadly secrets. Thanks for the host. Welcome to the channel. Let us know if you have any questions. All right. So the senior warden who, I don't know, he definitely has the power here, and Crusher seems to navigate this lawful red tape quite well. The orders on the document are basically to allow you to interrogate the prisoners and to adhere to a 4-man security protocol.
Yeah, the warden doesn't like the smell of my face, that's for sure.
Yep. Yep.
What knives?
Right, and may still think that Ptolemy is a weenie kid that doesn't deserve respect, even though he is the lord of this land.
Those are not mutually exclusive.
Right.
There's a Venn diagram where those hopes intersect.
Right. So are you going to go and have the monks provide security, or are you just going to go there on your own and ignore the paper or something in between?
No. We'll bring the monks, and we'll bring the monks. Just ask them to stay out of the way. It's fine.
Okay. There are 4 young monks that are going through this similar training that you are. By their holy symbols, it does look like they worship Saint Solars, which is sort of like a local angelic saint.
Mm-hmm.
And the saint who this monastery is and sanitarium has been named after. They seem impressed that Bone Crusher has grown, and they know who you are. They're younger than you. They're kind of like the class below you. They look really nervous when you're going to go into the dangerous persons ward of the sanitarium. We're going to interrogate both Zad and the new Lareth?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Mind your distance. We will be fine.
You're probably not going to want to do it at the same time.
No, one at a time.
Oh, it is against protocol to have any of the dangerous criminals and criminally insane outside of their cages at the same time. Only one cage door could be opened up at a time as well. It is protocol, and they bob their heads like.
Good thinking.
Hey, did you fellers bring the Book of the Ramblings?
Oh yes, it says here we have to fetch one of the scribes. Apparently, I don't have any tokens called scribe.
Man with quill.
Yeah.
Only guy.
Oh no! I got a scribe. There's a scribe.
Hans Quillman.
Scribeman. Okay, they fetch a scribe, and he has some books and writing implements, and he looks at the order, and he seems very worried that you guys are going to visit the criminally insane. He seems a little intrigued though, and he doesn't have the book on him, but he's got the implements to start recording.
So, scribe guy.
Yes. My name is Hans.
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 All right, Hans. How many languages do you speak?
I know 6 languages, and a few dialects, and a smattering of maybe 5 more. How many languages do you speak, dwarf? He says to you in Dwarvish.
I picked up a few here and there. He's pretty
pretty sure I know a couple you don't. He'll speak back in Dwarvish, but apparently.
I see. You're from Nulb area. I can tell by your accent. Haha.
Oscar has a very large, very false smile.
Okay.
Scrab this. Like away from a candy cottage.
The scribe might be missing.
It's funny.
Translation wars. Are we going to interrogate the Lareth the Beautiful, although he's not as beautiful anymore? Dungeon living is hard living.
Of course it is.
Lareth first.
Lareth first. I mean, this is your rodeo, Treasure.
Let's do Lareth first.
It was your idea, after all, says Ptolemy. It wasn't.
If this all goes wrong, we're just blaming Crusher.
All right, so you're gonna go to Lareth's cell
Yeah,
first.
Lareth's
Okay.
cell's first.
Do say Lareth first.
All right. So the group of you and your small entourage head down to the dangerous and criminally insane ward, and you pass by a cell. There's just a man laughing. You can hear from the window of the cell.
Somebody's having fun.
Lareth.
Lucky.
Oh, is the crazy dude?
Hey, Hans, who's this one?
This one, he's simply named, self-named himself, See No Evil. He claims to have 2 brothers.
We'll talk to him next.
Does one of his brothers hear no evil, another one speak no evil?
You can hear him laugh to that. He flips through some scrolls. Yes, I believe that is correct. A curious
Terrible
trio,
about that.
if they do exist. I can see the 3 of you pretty damn clearly. You see a spiky head, chubby cheeks, and pale eyes, like he's blind, pressed against the bars of his cage and looking out at you.
Your eyes are messed up.
Oh, they see you just fine. Wonder what the 3 of you been up to. This is not the cell. This one is clearly delusional.
We will speak with you later.
I will speak with every madman in the prison. Basically, up until I get either feces or some other bodily fluid thrown at me.
like 3 amigos. It's been a long time since I've seen someone so clearly. Oh yes, he believes that he can see evil. Hence his name, See No Evil.
Till. Crusher looks at you guys like, we're already here. So, see no evil. Let's talk with him first.
He is not on the list of
Does it matter?
guests to
I can get him
interrogate.
I can get him on the list if that's required. This will just take more time and waste hours, which is very precious. And I'm sure the senior warden does not want you wasting our time. Or his. See no evil.
Yes.
What do you know of the temple? What do you know of our attempts there?
He's
do you
looking
want it to
in your
stop?
general direction.
Do you want it to stop?
There's a big hole in your chest.
I wonder what's in yours.